A very good day to everybody. In today's talk, we are going to understand the importance of three jewels in Jainism. They are known as Ratnatraya. What is this Ratnatraya? And these are the foundations of the Jaina life, or the spiritual life, or the ethical life. This is what we call attitude, aptitude, the darshana, the faith and the foundation on which your whole lifestyle is built up. So, what are these Ratnatrayi? This Ratnatrayi is Samyak Darshan, Samyak Jnana, Samyak Charitra. These three are the path to liberation. Samyak Jnana Darshan Charitra moksha margah. You can either ways say Samyak Darshan Jnan Charitra or Samyak Jnan Darshan Charitra. We keep this controversy aside, but we understand what it is. Moksha is the path of liberation. What do we mean by liberation? It is the disassociation of the soul and the body, jiva and pudgala, completely separating from each other, and once they completely separate from each other, the soul resides on the top of the universe, which is Siddhaloka according to the Jaina Darshana. How to attain that? Or what is that? For that, one has to understand what is Samyak Darshan, Samyak Jnana and Samyak Charitra. Let us understand the word Samyak or Samyag. Generally, we say it is, right, R-I-G-H-T, right knowledge, right faith and right character. Who decides what is right and wrong? Okay. According to the tradition, whatever the omniscient has experienced, seen, practiced, that he preaches to the people. That path on which the Sarvagna, the Tirthankara has walked. Now that path, how he has achieved, what he has followed, what they have worked on, they have shed that knowledge to us, to the people. And the codification done by the Gandharas, that is what has come down in the tradition. Now when we say right, it means that what is given by the Tirthankara and those who follow that. So for that tradition, whatever the Tirthankara has said becomes the right path. Say for a Buddhist, what Buddha has prescribed becomes Samyak. For a Hindu, say whatever is prescribed in Bhagavad Gita becomes Samyak. For Christians, whatever Jesus Christ has prescribed becomes Samyak. For a Muslim, whatever is prescribed in Quran or whatever is handed down by God to Muhammad becomes the right path. Similarly, for every religion, every tradition, what their omniscient or Sarvagna or Tirthankara or God has said becomes right for them. So what is Samyak Jnana and Samyak Darshan and Samyak Character according to Jainism? Let us understand the term Darshan. Darshana means faith. Okay, at one level it means faith, and at another level it means your attitude, aptitude, a vision which you have developed towards that life or towards your life. Okay, two ways. One is faith. Second, it is your own vision It is your own intuitive power. It is your own life system which you have developed over a period of time, on which your whole life is based, the foundational principle. What is that foundational principle in Jainism? So, at one level, when you talk from the point of view of faith, it is that you have faith in your tradition. Okay, that is Samyak Darshan. You have faith in what Tirthankara have said, and you follow none other than the Tirthankara. So, whatever Tirthankara has said, whatever Tirthankara has prescribed, the do's, don'ts, you have faith in that. That is Samyak Darshan. Now, the question is, let me ask you, what has the first Tirthankara, what would be Samyak Darshan for the first Tirthankara? Because before him, the Tirthankaras were in the last half cycle, okay, of the of Sarpinikal. But that was not there when first Tirthankara of Bharakshetra, Rishabdev, was born. Then what? So who he must have followed? Or how, what was Samyak Darshan for him? Would Samyak Darshan be different for him, and would Samyak Darshan be different for us? At one level, yes, at one level, no. We are followers, so yes, faith is important, we start from faith. But our souls, any soul, every soul of every living being is same. A soul of Tirthankara is same, a soul of ant is same, a soul, our souls, microbes, viruses, all the souls are same. So what is this Samyak Darshan? Let me give you one example from the life of Tirthankar Mahavira. Once Tirthankar Mahavira was passing through a jungle. It was twilight, sun was setting down, moon was rising, maybe in the evening, and he had to cross the forest. He had to go from one village to another village. Now, the villagers said, there is a poisonous cobra. Don't go at this hour. You might not be able to see him. If you encounter him, even he immediately bites anybody who goes from that area, and he will bite you. A small pinch or a small drop of poison is going to damage you. You will die. But he was in his meditative posture. He had to go. He crossed because he had given Abhaydan, no? Abhaydan to everybody. Abhaydan. Bhay is fear. Abhay is fearlessness. Meaning he has friendship to all living beings. Then why he should be scared of? So, being scared of is bhay. Being not scared of abhay. Abhaydan, friendship towards all and non-harming towards all. Doesn't mean not scared doesn't mean that I am, in an egoistic sense. No, it cannot be in an egoistic sense that I'm not scared of anybody. No. So he passes through that forest, and that cobra was sitting there. He immediately, anybody he sees, he will start, hissing and getting angry, and he bit. And when he bit, this narrative says a white fluid starts coming out of that toe. So the narrative says the milk starts flowing from the toe of Tirthankar Mahavira. Now imagine, when does milk start flowing from the body? It is when a new creation takes place, when a female is giving birth to a child. After an intense labor, there is a birth, a new creation. That's where milk starts flowing. Why? It is a nature. You have that intense, compassionate, innocent love towards that child, a newborn child. Every species has that innocent, compassionate love. Imagine after the intense pain, labor pain, a mother is born, a female is reborn. So that is the Vatsalya Bhav of the Tirthankara Mahavira. Now, and he says, Buddha Chanda Kaushika, Buddha Chanda Kaushika, Buddha Chanda Kaushika. Of course, you must be wondering why Chanda Kaushika? Because Chanda Kaushika was name of the snake in some previous birth when he was a human being, and when he had some ego issues with Tirthankar Mahavira in some previous birth, and that anger had turned so stubborn that it became back to worst in this birth, and he became a snake. And Vardhaman became Mahavira. On one hand, the anger of Chandrakaushika, and on the other hand, the compassion of Tirthankar Mahavira. So, this Abhaydan or this Karuna Bhav is the first nature, or is the first outflowing, a milk flowing from your soul. And this is the first characteristic mark of Samyak Darshan. Samyak Darshan is nothing but undoubted faith on the principle of non-violence, on ahimsa. It is not just non-harming. Yes, of course, I don't harm anybody, but you also have transcended your body, speech, mind, and lived at a level of soul where the milk of compassion is flowing from your soul. So this is what Samyak Darshan is. Once you have faith, it is undoubted. You will not be able to say, oh, I have given Abhaydan, I trust the principle of non-violence. But the moment somebody comes to hit you or somebody says anything, we take it at the level of ego. That is not Samyak Darshan. Samyak Darshan means now when I say Tirthankar Mahavira has complete faith. Yes, faith on what? On the principles which he believed. So what you believe and your action are one and the same. Not a single doubt that will ahimsa work. Ahimsa is not only at intellectual level. Ahimsa it as a level of soul. Non-violence at the level of soul. Of course, it comes with practice. It comes with your attitude, the change in aptitude. Now the person does not know what anger is. Person does not know what bhaya is. This is Samyak Darshan. So faith on the principles. One level you trust, have faith on your Tirthankar, Sarvagna, God, whatever. But at the other level, the faith on the principles, and that principle is going to liberate you. You are going to get liberation when you follow that principle. Now we talk, so Tirthankar Mahavira, he goes, and of course next day you see the snake villagers coming and seeing. They all are astonished. Snake is just still. Red ants are biting him, villagers are throwing stone at him, but he is just sitting calm and quiet. And the narrative says after a few days, he just became so equanimous. After the few days, he attained, his soul attained Devagati. He took rebirth in one of the celestials. So faith on the person, on the God, Tirthankar, Sarvagna, and faith on the principles. So what works for you is you walk on the path. Not just worship the path, that is one aspect to begin with, but you walk on the path. So not a single point of doubt on the principles. After a lot of speculations, criticisms, debates, discussion, intellectual churning, you arrive at a state where you become complete doubtless. That is Samyak Darshan. Second, Samyak Jnana. Right knowledge. Today is the age of information technology, okay? From so many social platforms, you have so many information coming to us. WhatsApp, Facebook and Twitter and what newspapers and so many news channels. They influence They are not just giving news, they are influencing our opinions. There is a difference. So one has to understand this is just a piece of information you have to take with a pinch of salt, because everybody has a perspective from which they highlight their information and they interpret and give it to you. So basically they are trying to shape your opinion. Coming to Samyak Jnana, one has to understand the Jain tradition talks about how you attain jnana and what is that right type of right knowledge, what you say. It is in two ways. One is from pramana, one is from naya. Pramana means what? Measurement. You say measurement, okay? Source of knowledge. Jainism believes in three types of pramana. One is pratyaksha. Whatever information you get through your five sense organ, you process it in the mind. Finally, the soul knows. Okay, so pratyaksha jnana. Then you have anuman through inference. And third, you have through shabda. That is what has been given by apta or an authorized person. So by these three, and of course, pratyaksha, how you get pratyaksha, what is pratyaksha, what is anumana, like there is smoke, there is fire on the hill. How do you know that? You see smoke on the hill, and from the previous case of experience, you remember, oh, wherever there is smoke, there is fire. So you infer there is fire on the hill. Memory plays an important role, perception really plays an important role, and then you give a inferential knowledge. Knowledge attained from five senses, knowledge attained from inference, and knowledge attained from apta, that is Shabda Pramana. So from these three Pramana, whatever knowledge you have gained, that is you can say it's knowledge. Verified knowledge. You can't just believe in every bit of information. One has to thoroughly critically analyze it. And the second way in which you get that knowledge is through the method of naya. Very interesting to know what is naya. Naya means a partial point of view. So a naya means a partial point of view, meaning there is in simplistic term, if I tell you, a glass is half filled with water. Somebody says it is half empty, somebody says it is half full. Both are right. Okay, this is a simple way to understand. Both are right. Similarly, you share your experience, your friends, your parents, your spouses, your children share their experiences. Everybody has their own perspective to look at a particular event. So Jainism talks about 7 nayas, starting from a general perspective, then you go to a particular perspective, then you still go to a narrow perspective, then to go a momentary perspective, then you think from the point of view of language, meaning my name is Kamini, okay, that's a simple way and it means so and so. Then I may be, say, a doctor. Why doctor? Because I have got a PhD, or if I have some pen name through which I may write some poems, okay, that is another name. Then I'm a teacher, suppose. So for my students, I'm a teacher. For my parents, I'm a daughter. For my brother, I'm a sister. So from my friends, I'm a friend. From my nephews and nieces, I'm their aunt. So one person known by these names, by relative relations and other names what have been given. So these are the 7 nayas. I won't give it now. I have mentioned in the notes. So these 7 nayas, where you understand from a very general perspective to a very narrow perspective, and that coming down to a one person has so many angles to it. So it is very important to understand every person has the point of view of thinking. A male may think from a certain perspective, a female may think from a certain perspective. So you have to understand the perspective from what they are talking, and that is naya. Okay, I'm not making it too technical, but just to how you apply it in your day-to-day life. Somebody may think only rationally, somebody may think only emotionally, somebody may think only morally. So one has to understand this standpoint from which they are talking, they are thinking. So it broadens your vision, it broadens your outlook, and where you give a space to other person. So Samyak Jnana, you get this right knowledge from the point from two methods. One is pramana, which I told you. It is three pramanas, that is perception, I mean pratyaksha pramana, inference, anumana pramana, and third shabda pramana. And through the method of Naya, Naya means a partial point of view, and Jainism talks about 7 Nayas. So from those 7 Nayas, you get, from general perspective to a very particular perspective, to a present momentary perspective. So whatever you get by these two methods, that is your right knowledge. So Tirthankar Mahavir knew at that time no point of getting angry at Chandakaushika's snake, because that was his nature. That is not Lord Tirthankar Mahavir's nature. If the other person is angry, at that time the person is in a state of anger. You can't do anything. You have to let that moment pass. If you get anger begets anger. So one has to understand and take the charge and control of your life. Not to react, but to act. So Mahavir Swami acted, did not react. And the third, Samyak Charitra. What is Samyak Charitra? It is character. Okay, Charitra is character. We normally understand, okay, you say honesty. Honesty, it's a character of the person. That person is honest. People will trust and believe. Okay, suppose you say a person speak lies and you catch the lies. You say, oh, this is a character of the person, he always speak lies. Suppose somebody's person is calm and quiet. Oh, that person is so calm and quiet. Suppose you say somebody is so hyper. अरे उसका स्वभाव है, वो हमेशा ऐसे hyper mode पे ही रहता है. But now what happens? So what is character? Initially, you start from the do's and don'ts. Okay, you say ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, parigraha. You start limiting. Okay, so whatever vows anuvratas are given or mahavratas are given, you follow. Okay, we take vows, we follow. Okay, you do samayik, you do pratikraman, or you do meditation, you do puja, everything you do. But this is conduct. Okay, you understand, this is conduct. This is a point to start. But gradually, this whatever you follow has to transform you. For 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, you do this. Suppose a person has a greed so much, the person has to start giving charity, doing charity. A person has anger so much, the person has, you say calm down. How to calm down? Okay, practice friendship. So you start persons, okay, so people suggest, okay, start concentrating, start becoming calm, quiet, join some meditation group, chant some mantras, read some book, let that moment pass. So what is happening? You are diverting your mind from getting angry into a transcending a mode to something, a positive action. Over a period of time of practice, say 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, gradually that anger or greed or deceit or ego, whatever it is, it melts down. So what happens? You are transcending from the previous your mode of thought to a new mode of thought. Okay, a new mode of thought. And that new mode of thought is what you say is a big transformation. And that transformation, gradually you will realize your real nature is not Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh, but it is Maitri, it is Karuna, it is Dana, Abhay-dana. This is your nature, and when this becomes your nature, this is Samyak Charitra. So Mahavir Swami, when started following ahimsa, it would have been difficult for him, but gradually, when final encounter with Chandakaushika, it becomes its character. So following non-violence, say you practice vegetarianism, you say you are following non-violence, but it has to extend to every living being in the way it extended by Tirthankar Mahavira. That is character, that is Samyak Charitra. So this is what you say you believe, you practice it. So what you believe, what your attitude, your aptitude you believe, that you practice it, and that is Samyak Charitra. Now you don't know what anger is. Now you don't know what greed is. That experience of ego is gone. The experience of cheating is gone. Now you have the experience of being straightforward. You are in the mode of always being Abhaydan or Maitri Bhav. This is Samyak Charitra. This is the biggest transformation. And Samyak Darshan, Samyak Jnana, Samyak Charitra, they all three, we may see it as separate, but they are one. Knowledge of Ahimsa, practicing Ahimsa, faith in Ahimsa. These three is one. Your attitude, your aptitude, your thought, word and speech, your body language, everything is one. You are in charge of your life. You are in control of your life. Every action is controlled because you have to act, not react. And thereby you slow down, you reflect, you think, then you speak. It's a calm and composed way. And this is nothing but liberation. So all these three may be a path of liberation, or are a path of liberation, and all these three are liberating you from what? As I said, Krodh, Man, Maya and Lobh. These are the four passions which are limiting you. Once you delimit them, you overcome them, you have attained liberation. And therefore it is said, these are the three Ratnas. Ratnas, precious jewels. And look at the transformation when you start following it. So Samyak Darshan, Samyak Jnana, Samyak Charitrani, Moksha Margah. Again I say, they all three are one. We split it, intellectually, by thought, word, deed. You understand, you live by it, and it becomes your character. This is what it is. So my dear friends, today we stop this class with realizing our own innate nature. It's purity, infinite knowledge, infinite vision, infinite bliss and infinite energy. For that, these three ratnas, these three jewels, one has to churn within itself, yourself, and then you attain that moksha marga. You don't attain moksha there. Moksha we attain here. Whenever the body will and the soul have to separate, they will separate. But liberation is here in the human body. This is what is important. Thank you.